So it looks like it's about time that we start getting some combining of beans going, and as you can see, stuff is out and it's ready to get going. Got the bean head there up by the shop and the combine there ready to get the head on. First things first, get the truck lined up and get the head connected. So Rick, what do you do to get ready to do some combining?
So we're ready to head out and do some combining today on some just dry land strips along the road that are ready. And basically all we had to do on the combine is switch from corn, last year corn, to this year's soybeans. So all it entails is automatically adjusting the sieves, which shake out the grain so they're flatter because there's less material coming through, and you want your sample to be clean. Straw chopper goes up to chop all the soybean straw, and just a few minor adjustments with the rotor and how fast it shells the crop off as it goes around. And this is a rotary machine combine. Mainly it made everything so simple now. You can switch from corn to soybeans in less than 15 minutes. And years ago it would take an hour, hour and a half.
So Rick, just wondering, so the last time you said you had this out, the corn head was on. So like, what kind of stuff did you have to do to it since last fall when you had the corn head on?
Okay, so normally all we do is we clean the machine. Obviously it's a little dusty now from sitting in the shed all year, but we basically wash it off, clean it off, blow it all off, and then we change any engine oil and check any other final drive stuff at that time so we know what to do for the coming into this season. But basically we just, Kevin did some oil change on the hydraulics just because it was time with the hours on that. But it's basically just look everything over and make sure the maintenance is okay.
What's under there, Rick?
Okay, so right here is basically the clean grain. Once it gets separated out, we'll go through a little more of that in depth in the field, but the clean grain elevator, return, and just the mechanism you're seeing for running that clean grain and return grain. That with the clean grain goes back up to the top of the hopper and into the tank, and this just gets re-cleaned again before it goes up there. So
What's this?
okay, so here's what I was just going to give you a quick, before it gets all dirty. This is the rotor. As you can see in here, there's rasp bars on this rotor. These are the concaves. So when the corn or beans is coming through the throat or the feeder, it gets fed in from a chain. Feeder chain goes up, and this rotor's going around, thrashing out. Here's where all your soybeans or corn come down in these auger beds, and they get taken back. Obviously the chaff, all the leaves, stalks, stems, that goes out the back. You can look right in here, and in the back here shows a little bit of the sieve. So that's where the clean grain gets shaken out,
Okay.
falls down, and ends up in the tank.
Cool. Here out the back is where the excess shoots out. Comes riding out there, comes shooting out the back.